pandemic has brought in some fundamental shifts in the way we have been living our life, or in the way we have been leading our lives. And all those shifts have necessitated the need for a home, our own home. So here you can just very quickly glance through some of the searches that consumers were doing, buyers were doing before and after COVID, right? So right from looking at projects to site visits and building confidence and so on and so forth. Post-COVID, the sentiments have dramatically improved from the COVID days, and people are now talking about looking at better deals, looking at price rationalization, looking at virtual solutions to help them close a decision, and so on and so forth. So the need for the home has only grown. First of all, there was a dramatic drop in intent to buy a property when COVID struck. And that is something that you can see over here, a trend line that was there pre-COVID, where close to about 75% of the consumers were looking at buying a home within a year. That trend line shifted dramatically as different waves of lockdown and unlocking happened. And today, it's almost inching back to pre-COVID levels. So the intent to buy is coming back, and it's coming back rather strongly. Now close to about 75% of the audiences are looking at buying a home within next 1 year. This bodes well. If you look at overall market dynamics also, the change in sentiments have been rather dramatic. And this also is reflected in a lot of other categories though. But the pace of recovery in real estate, which is a high ticket item, which is a high involvement item, the emotional payout as well as the monetary outlay is so high. This pace of recovery has been rather dramatic. Ideally, you or I would have expected real estate to be one of the last categories to recover, and people taking care of the fundamentals first and then thinking of investment in homes or properties. But that's not true. The moment unlocking started and we got ease in lockdown, we started seeing recovery. And a whole lot of people who were searching for home or searching for investing in property before pandemic immediately came back. This only indicates how deeply entrenched is this asset class in our mind from an investment point of view, and how deeply desired is ownership of a home is there in the mind of the consumer. People like you and me, all of us are consumers of that home. We also captured some very interesting trends during this pandemic. We saw that there was a 2x growth in searches for homes and searches for larger homes. So for homes which were 4 BHK and 4 bedroom and above, there were almost 200% growth in those searches. One of the key things that we noticed is a lot of people felt that the current probably home that they were staying in, whether it was rented or owned accommodation, was not designed or was not big enough to suit all the requirements of a family living in such strange circumstances. And that necessitated the search for one extra room or one extra balcony or a larger balcony and so on and so forth, or one small room which can become a work from home station and so on and so forth. So that was one of the biggest fundamental dramatic shifts that we saw in behavior of consumer. People are now looking for larger homes. And an expansion of work from home policy. We know a lot of companies are still continuing with that policy with the virus still present in some form or the other. The desire or the need or the functional need itself of having that extra room to convert into your home office is very, very strong. And that is leading to demand for larger spaces, that is leading to demand for slightly larger homes. We also saw some of the cities which were most favored now after the pandemic in terms of investment in Pune, Bengaluru and Mumbai. where a lot of action and a lot of young people like you stay. A lot of people who are working in IT, ITES or new age technology sectors are staying. We saw most searches happening in these cities, probably because large number of employees, large number of people living in these cities were living on rented accommodation. But the pandemic and its challenges is now forcing us to rethink that decision. Should we stay on rent or should we invest in a property, invest in our own home? And that's one of the topics I'll touch upon. First-time home buyers take home loans and they buy home on credit, and therefore this is one of the key considerations that they have in mind. And the home loans demand is now increasing in mid to high range segments and across cities, and this again bodes well. You should also know that the credit availability is much easier now. The government has been pushing very hard on easing liquidity both on the demand and supply side, which means making loans available to both developers as well as buyers on easier terms at lower rates of interest. And at this point of time, the home loan interest rates are the lowest in last decade or so. Last time when you were able to take a home loan so cheap probably was about 10 to 15 years ago. So it's a very opportune moment if anyone is thinking of investing in a home, because credit is easy to come and credit is cheaper. So now let's address that question. It's $1 million question. Should we buy or should we rent? And this is something that when I was also young and probably 4 or 5 years into my career and wanted to invest in my first house, this was the first question I wanted to answer for myself. Should I continue staying in a rented accommodation or should I invest, take loans and invest in a property? And what is better for me over a period of time, over a long horizon of 20 years, for example? First, take a decision whether you are going to invest for own use, which is going to stay there, or for investment purposes, which is you're going to put it on rent, and this is just for investment purposes, and you are looking at a price appreciation and ROI over a period of time. That's the first question to answer. If you have answered that question for yourself, then the decision will be far easier and the process will be smooth. If you want to stay in the property that you want to invest in, and for all the first-time home buyers, you can safely make a presumption that they are going to invest in that home to stay, because they are staying in a rented accommodation right now, and their trigger to buy a home is to a desire to own a home and stay in an owned accommodation. If it is for own use, then the advice is very simple. No time is a bad time to invest in your own home, and no time is a good time or a better time to really wait for to invest in a home. If you really want to invest in a home for own use, to stay, time is now, time is today. You do not get anything or any benefit by delaying that decision. So all other factors working, you should be able to take that decision easily. When we are young, when we are investing for the first time, we do not know everything, and so it's possible that we may overlook a few things. I'm giving you some of those things that people generally overlook and don't take care of, but you should not. You should be a far more informed investor. The first is ignoring trends. Now, I shared a lot of trends with you in this presentation. What is happening, which areas, which localities are emerging, what are consumers, buyers really looking forward to, and so on and so forth. Always study these trends very carefully, because these trends over a period of time shape the resale value of a property, and that's very important for you to look at. Second is, don't confuse between investment and self-use, and the point that I was making earlier. In fact, this is the first decision you should take. Are you investing to stay, or are you investing just for return over a period of time? The third is, look at location very carefully. Don't choose a wrong location. There are a lot of people who invest in a location thinking or they get swayed by either advertisements or promises and of developments of a locality and so on and so forth, and they end up investing and over a period of time they realize their mistake because infrastructure probably is slower to come by, or it comes very very late, and therefore the price appreciation suffers. So always think through very hard on this point. If you're going to invest for self-use, the way you will choose a location is going to be very very different from the way you choose a location if you're going to invest only for investment, and bear that in mind. Be very very aware of home loans and payment plans. One of the mistakes that young buyers make is they do not study the home loan documents or the credit terms very very carefully. Do that. It takes some time. There are technicalities involved. Seek help on that. Again, there are a lot of help available online on portals like MagicBricks. But always do that. Always go through those term sheets and understand what you're getting into. Let there be no hidden clause that should surprise you later, either with your bank or with your developer. Both ways. It's very, very important. Understand the costs and spending. What you're getting into, what is your affordability, how will you manage your cash flow, how will the income appreciate, and so on and so forth. Think of all those things, because if you're investing in a home or a property with loans on credit terms, then plan a little long term. Don't dismiss rental as an option. While probably I should naturally be saying you should invest in a home as a professional, but that's not correct advice. You should always weigh between renting ROI and buy ROI, and don't outrightly dismiss renting as an option. As I showed you in the calculator, do your own calculation and see what's best for you. Last but not the least, neighborhood issues are very important. Many a times we invest and then we get into trouble. Look at those things. Always do physical verification as much as possible. Even if you are investing in an under construction property, where the construction is yet to begin, where the locality is nothing but a barren land, still I advise you to go there, see the land for yourself. It's very important to do physical verification of what you're getting into, and then physically verify at every step.